Eugenie Sage.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. The Health Practitioners Replacement of Statutory References to Medical Practitioners Bill is certainly a useful bill which the Green Party is pleased to support, and it will change the relationship between New Zealanders and medical and health professionals. And that's because it amends 7 statutes to increase the range of functions which health practitioners can perform by changing references in the law from medical practitioners to health practitioners. And that means that they can perform certain statutory responsibilities quite lawfully, such as issuing certificates of the cause of death rather than medical certificates. And this is going to certainly, as Barbara Kruger noted, provide a recognition of the range of skills that nurse practitioners have developed, provide for more professional development, and it will increase flexibility across the health system. And it's that fact that health professionals we rely on them very considerably for their knowledge and their skill, and the bill recognises that both the medical and the wider health profession have evolved with time. We've now got new technology, more advanced training techniques, health practitioners, particularly nurse practitioners, upskilling and diversifying their knowledge base, and they are now capable of performing tasks that previously were solely the domain of medical professionals. And the fact that nurse practitioners have done this, only to find that the law actually stymies them carrying out work. So this bill is overdue. It will allow for a more flexible and efficient use of the health workforce, and that's particularly important because of the deepening shortages in particular parts of the country. And in rural areas, for example, because we've got a nationwide shortage of GPs who are available to work in rural areas, when they go and make a visit to some areas, they often find that a large chunk of their time in small communities may often be taken up with quite laborious administrative tasks of signing certificates for ACC, for work and income, and they are for people that the local rural practice nurse will often know those people much better and be in a better position to sign those certificates. So the bill, by the changes to the 7 statutes, will allow health practitioners to participate in ACC claimants' individual rehabilitation plans, to take blood specimens from road users, and where an employee is required to provide proof of sickness or injury to an employer, then that person will be able to get a certificate from a registered health practitioner rather than from a medical practitioner, which is currently the case. One of the interesting things in the bill, I think, too, is the widening of the ability for signing of signing of certificates of the causes of death, which is related, which is at the moment only able to be done by a medical practitioner. And I think there may well be a concern by some that some sectors of the health profession may not have had the competence and the necessary skills to sign off cause of death. But there has been extensive consultation before the bill was introduced, including by the Law Commission, and would draw people's attention to the Health Practitioners Competency Assurance Act, because that makes it quite clear that health practitioners can only perform activities that they have got the expertise and capability to do, that you can't have people going beyond the functions which professionally they are identified as being able to do within the scope of their practice. And so I think that Health Practitioners Competence Assurance Act is a very important safeguard for people who may be concerned that some health professionals may be less responsible than medical practitioners. And it's certainly within that legislation, you've got responsible authorities who regulate health practitioners in any particular profession. They identify the scope of the practice and they identify the activities which each class of practitioners is deemed competent to undertake. That said, Mr Speaker, we still look forward to the submissions at Select Committee from professional organisations and colleges and nurse practitioners and others to establish that the bill establishes flexibility in the right places and to the right degree, and that there's overall support for the changes which the bill provides. But it is a very timely piece of legislation. Note Labor's comments about it being overdue, but it certainly will provide a practical recognition that nurse practitioners have significantly diversified their skills. They play a hugely important role in the health system, and the current law in these 7 statutes, by restricting their ability to take on roles where they've got the competence, is overdue for reform. We support the bill. Thank you.
Barbara Stewart.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. I was busy watching the time to see whether or not I would manage to get a